Okay. Susie, you ready?
Okay. Let's call this regular meeting to order.
Thank you.
And the first time was for exercise. This one is very intentional. Salute to the flag. If you please join us in a salute to the flag. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, this is for all the people sitting in their cars rather than coming in. Town board meeting is scheduled. We are meeting here the 1st. We're going to be meeting again on the 25th of the month. Town hall will be closed on, all town operations closed on Martin Luther King Day on the 18th. Earlier today, town clerk distributed the meeting minutes from the 21st. She would rather we hold off for adoption until our next meeting, provide you with an opportunity to review them, and come back to her with any comments. Okay? Moving to payment of bills at this time, and ask our town clerk if she would please introduce them.
Manifest 1 for 2021 in the amount of $459,071.34 has been reviewed by the Victortown Board with the following accounts charged: General Townwide, General Outside Village, Highway Townwide, Sanitary Conveyance Capital Improvement Project, the Lighting Districts of Fishers, Brookwood Meadows, High Point, Cobblestone, Quail Ridge, Rolling Meadows, Stone Lay, and Legacy at the Fairways.
Thank you, Karen. Up on the screen, we have tonight's items that have been flagged that are in or exceed the $10,000 range, starting with Rochester Gas and Electric. Payment number 2 is the Office of the State Comptrollers for November, fines and forfeitures. Payment to Ontario County for the 2021 workers' compensation. Victor Farmington Ambulance Corp. in agreement for emergency services. Mercy Flight. Payment to American Rock Salt for road salt. Green Renewable of Manchester for the tub grinding. Ontario County Board of Elections for the chargeback for the 12 town districts. Payment to Eastern Shore Associates for our 2021 town insurance. Payment to MVP for the January employee and retiree health care. Total of the above-mentioned expenditures is $427,658.03. Total town expenditures minus these previous mentioned expenditures equals $31,413.31. Board members, any question on this evening's abstract? Entertain a motion to approve the payments thereof.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
There is no request for privilege of the floor this evening. Susie will ask you if there's anyone on the public comments. Okay. Reports of town officials in your packet was the town historians and the annual report from the Victor Conservation Board, which I really like. Well done by them. Application after application provided for our review.
I was saying to Ed that it was impressive to read through the Conservation Board's report and look at everything they were able to accomplish during, these really difficult times. And, business went along, much better than anticipated, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Matt's a wonderful chair. We've been really blessed with outstanding chairs and outstanding members of many of our boards over the history here of the town.
And the neat thing to go along with that is, you think about it, is everybody adjusted to the whole Zoom process fairly easily, whether it was zoning board of appeals, planning board, conservation board, and they really didn't miss a trick all year. So, kudos to all of those groups.
You know, I go back to, I don't know how many of you know Marge Elder. Marge was Conservation Board when I came board back in '09, and, the Conservation Board didn't get much love from the town board at that time, and certainly the planning board, and now they're a real part of our development process here, so kudos to them. Got a couple items, again, I might have mentioned them last time. Ontario County continues to have 3 free rapid testing sites. Victor Farmington ambulance hours are Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 11. They have done extremely well there. Looking for additional staff to assist them as well. One thing very important, I know Councilman Condon, you were included on an email from Supervisor Inglesby. Farmington sewer changes in their fees. Their sewer unit costs are going from $87.50 up $1 to $88.50. Originally, Supervisor Inglesby had told me that they were considering a $2.50 increase, and I just asked him, if it appealed to him, to go back to his board and ask them to reconsider, just under these difficult times, if you can, do this in pieces rather than all at once. So they did. To their credit, they came back. And actually, for me, probably the best thing they came up with is the commercial chargers are now maxed out at 3 units, totaling $5,700. Their unit cost is $1,900 per unit. I'll give you an example. Building number 300 up at High Point will be charged this amount, $5,700. In the past, this cost would have been between $40,000 and $70,000. And I can tell you, I've been asking Farmington back when Supervisor Fafinski was there, and then when Jeff Astles was there, we even came up with a comparison that had Monroe County, what the town of Henrietta was charging for this very same thing. Parrington's at like $2,500, $2,600, we'll round it up. Henrietta was at $6,619. Ontario County, so the unit fees, Farmington's, again, $1,900. Ontario County's $200, Parrington's $1,000. But they had the total connection fees we've had as high as $95,000. And so I had predicted, or in speaking to Farmington officials, I said, you're going to reach a point where someday you're going to have development of office parks in your town. And sure enough, that's what's starting to take place there. And they're now realizing that they're not helping themselves. So they've made the change, and I applaud them for it. And I mentioned that in the email as well. Just so everyone knows, home sales in Victor continues to do, actually, under this pandemic, fairly well. Barb and I keep tracking them and looking them for mortgage tax, things of that nature. Still with about a month to go. We are about 10, 12 homes behind, sales behind last year, though the price of homes, as anyone of you read many articles, that it's really, it's a seller's market because people are overpaying to the point where actually, and we've seen that. So the houses here in Victor is actually, they're paying about $45,000 more per house than they were a year ago. So we may not certainly achieve what we did last year as far as home sales, but we are coming close, trending pretty close, and refinancing, everything I read about that, that'll continue. Certainly with a new federal administration, we may see an uptick in the interest rates, and so we'll see where we are with that. And deer carcass removal, I want to mention this. We had a resident on High Street call the Highway Department early Wednesday, the 30th, and within hours, the carcass was gone and the bloody remains were cleaned up. Homeowner was ecstatic because he has young children that live, there are young children that live across the street, and it's not a pleasant sight, so he wanted me to make sure that the Highway Department received their kudos. So Mark, again, outstanding job, and certainly I know that the last couple of weeks of the year with it's the time many of your guys are looking to use vacation time, so you had these guys jump on it, so thank you, appreciate it very much. And real quick, when we look at all of us went through a difficult year, a strange year. We just talked about it with our Christmas season is quite different. We can go back and look at March 22nd was the 2020 implementation of the New York State on pause. We've seen our region, our state, individuals within our own community go through COVID-19 fatigue after a while. Certainly very concerning. The Finger Lakes region is trending towards a red zone. We'll wait to see what happens there. But for myself, I could share with you, always try to find silver linings, and my silver lining moment is the Town of Victor employees. And the reason I say that is I challenged them to create a safety guidelines for all town employees and the visitors to our facilities. They followed up with that and did an outstanding job. The town employees worked on a COVID-19 budget that impacted their own departments. They worked through the challenges of managing the day-to-day operations of their departments while being short-staffed. I saw firsthand employees rise to the occasion under difficult circumstances. I am forever grateful to them for keeping us all safe and still managing to get the work done. So my silver lining is our Town of Victor employees.
To add to that, Jack, I have failed to find an employee in a town vehicle without a mask on. I have failed to find, today I came in to pay my tax bill, 2 Parks and Rec employees were in there, and they both had their masks on, and then I saw one working outside, taking down some holiday decorations by themselves, nobody around, mask was on. So, they've taken it serious, and they've taken the charge serious. They don't want to miss work, they don't want to violate, and I think they're looking out for not only their own safety, but the safety of everybody else too. So you guys have done a good job passing that message on.
Thank you for sharing that.
Supervisor, I'll actually add one more, I guess, a kudo towards you. The few times, recently and earlier on in the pandemic, you come into the clerk's office or you walk around, you say hello, and I noticed a few times, and after like the 3rd time I had seen it, I think I had said to the town clerk, I said, holy cow, everybody in this building is wearing a mask just as they're supposed to do. And I was told then by a couple different people over the last few months, the supervisor has set a very clear expectation on how we're going to do this. And I think that the top-down effect of that has been very positive. So I think some of that falls back on you.
Thank you. Okay. Board members, I know we haven't had much in the way of activities with other boards, but any comments from any of you? Okay, moving to resolutions, starting with the amended resolution on the transfer of delinquent sewer funds. There was an error made in listing the amount to be transferred.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Purchase of video equipment, video recording equipment, excuse me. This would be, Town Hall will be piggybacking off the Broome County contract.
So moved. I'll second that, and I'll thank Barb for finding the funds in the 2020 budget to cover that.
Great, thank you. Great point. All those in favor?
Aye.
And extension of senior individual with disabilities and limited income exemption opt-in. You remember we brought this up at the last meeting. Kudos to our state government listening to us. We brought this up at, it was actually, first time I heard it was the Wayne County Chairman of the Board, Ken Miller. He brought it up, concerns about individuals coming to town halls for their star exemption. So
moved.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
And I know, Mark, just so you know, I did on a recent control room meeting, we talked about this exemption, but case in point, so we started with the northeastern storm that hit the southern tier area. Erie County, Buffalo area got hit pretty hard. So as we get ready to continue, it seems like it's a growing list of individuals who get the vaccine or be offered the vaccine under the Phase 2B. Highway employees, it's getting some legs on highway departments, being our state DOT, county, and our local, because the point I made is, what happens if it goes through a department and we have these type of snow occurrences, and who's plowing the roads? And one of my colleagues actually told me from the county, he's even told his guy, because he's been trying to separate his highway guys and water guys in, and sure enough, it didn't work out so well, and there were some positive cases there. So he told him, he says, I'm so mad right now, you'll get in that truck even with the virus. So I'm glad we were able to come up with some backup for our potential challenge. So, Suzie, anyone on public comments? Okay. Any closing comments before we call for an adjournment? Okay. Motion to adjourn?
Moved.
All those in favor?